My name is Rebecca Lang, and I was still groggy from pain medication at 11:42 p.m. when my phone lit up on the nightstand. The screen showed my son's school lunch account alert. Balance, $0, negative charges accumulating. Attached was a note from the cafeteria manager. Ethan has been selecting only water and a roll for the past 3 weeks. He was 7. I had trusted my sister with everything while I recovered from emergency back surgery. I thought he was safe. I thought the child support and temporary guardianship money were feeding him. What I discovered when I could finally drive the 90 minutes to her house made my blood run cold. But here's what none of them knew. I work in medical billing and claims. I chase down every denied dollar for a living, and every dollar that disappears leaves a trail. Welcome back to Calm Drama Stories, where ordinary people face impossible family choices and quiet courage outlasts cruelty. If stories about fighting for the children who can't fight for themselves keep you coming back, drop a comment and subscribe. 3 months earlier, I'd gone in for what was supposed to be routine back surgery. A herniated disc from years of lifting patients at the hospital, where I worked as a billing specialist. Complications hit hard. Nerve damage, infection risk, doctors ordering strict bed rest and no heavy lifting. My husband had passed 2 years before in a trucking accident, so family was all Ethan had left. My older sister, Vanessa, and her husband, Marcus, offered immediately. "We've got the space, the stability," Vanessa said, voice warm on the phone. "You focus on healing. We'll take care of your boy like he's our own." I believed her. She had 2 teenagers, a nice suburban house, and had always been the responsible one in our family. I signed the temporary guardianship papers with tears in my eyes and kissed Ethan's forehead. "Mommy will be strong again soon," I whispered. He nodded bravely, clutching his favorite dinosaur backpack. The first few weeks, the texts were perfect. Photos of Ethan smiling at the dinner table, new sneakers. "He's thriving, Becca. Don't worry." I sent the child support checks and the extra guardianship stipend every month without fail. Money I'd fought the insurance company to secure after my husband's death. It was meant for Ethan's food, clothes, activities, therapy if needed. I was too weak to drive, too foggy from meds to question the glowing reports. Until that midnight lunch alert. I waited until morning, then called the school. The cafeteria manager's voice dropped when I identified myself. "Mrs. Lang, we've been trying to reach the guardians. Ethan's been skipping full meals. He says he's not hungry, but he's losing weight. We've seen this before, kids who aren't getting enough at home." My stomach twisted. I asked her to pull every record. That night, I drove despite the doctor's warnings, hands shaking on the wheel, wipers slapping against light rain. Vanessa's house looked perfect from the curb, fresh landscaping, Marcus's new SUV gleaming in the driveway. I let myself in with the spare key they'd given me. The house was quiet. Ethan was in the guest room, curled small under a thin blanket, his dinosaur backpack beside him like a shield. He woke when I touched his shoulder and didn't cry, just whispered, "Mom, they said I eat too much and it costs extra." I opened the kitchen cabinets while he clung to me. Bare shelves for kid food, a locked snack drawer. In the fridge, expensive wine, gourmet cheeses, diet shakes for Vanessa. No juice boxes, no fruit, nothing a growing boy would reach for after school. Vanessa came home from her book club an hour later, shopping bags on her arm. The laugh died on her face when she saw me. "Becca, you're not supposed to be driving yet." Marcus followed, smelling like steakhouse. I kept my voice level, the same tone I use when insurance companies deny claims they know they should pay. I asked why my son's lunch account was empty while their life looked upgraded. Vanessa's face shifted into that wounded patient look she'd perfected as the oldest sister. Kids exaggerate, Becca. He's adjusting. We're not running a restaurant. Marcus added, We've taken on a lot. Be grateful. I didn't scream. I just looked at Ethan, who had gone very still, and made him a proper sandwich with what little I could find. While he ate, I noticed the new designer purse on the counter, the salon receipt, and a family vacation brochure for a beach resort. Booked 2 weeks after the latest support deposit cleared. I took photos quietly. Old habit from work. Document everything. I drove home with Ethan that night, doctor be damned, and the accountant in me took over. I couldn't carry rage and win. I needed the truth on paper. Over the next weeks, between physical therapy and too many sleepless nights, I pieced it together the way I audit denied claims. I logged into the school portal. They granted me access as the mother. 3 months of negative balances. Ethan's teacher notes about concentration issues and asking for seconds at snack time. Medical records showing he'd missed a well-child visit and his weight had dropped. The money trail was clearer. Child support deposits hit their joint account like clockwork. The guardianship stipend followed. On the other side, Vanessa's credit card statements. I got copies through a polite but firm records request as the payer. New furniture, weekly salon visits, the resort deposit, Marcus's upgraded truck payment. Ethan's expenses? Almost nothing. No new clothes that fit, no after-school program, no proper groceries. The gap between what they said they needed and what they spent was glaring. I tried the kind way first. I called Vanessa on a Sunday and kept my voice gentle. I'm taking Ethan back while I finish healing. I'll still send money for any extras. Her tone iced over. You're barely walking, Becca. You're not stable. We have legal custody right now. Don't make this ugly. When I pushed about the lunch account, she said the words that still echo. He's fed enough. Kids are resilient. You're overreacting because you feel guilty for dumping him on us. I hung up and sat very still. People who are innocent don't threaten to weaponize the system. I built the record brick by lawful brick. School attendance and lunch logs. Doctor's letters about Ethan's health decline. Bank statements showing every support dollar. Photos of their luxuries timed against deposits. I contacted a family law attorney named Diane, who specialized in temporary guardianships. She read my file and said quietly, This is textbook misuse. We file for emergency return of custody. Vanessa fought back hard. She painted me as the fragile, grieving widow who couldn't handle motherhood after my husband's death. They claimed I was unstable, that they'd sacrificed vacations and extras to raise my son. They even got a couple of relatives to echo the story. But the paper trail didn't lie. In the first hearing, Diane put the timeline on the screen. Support deposit, same week new purse and resort booking. School photos of Ethan looking thin next to photos of their overflowing shopping halls. The judge's face hardened. Vanessa's composure cracked on the stand. She started with tears, then blame. I gave up so much for that boy while she recovered. When the judge pressed on the locked snack drawer and the empty lunch account, she snapped, He was eating us out of house and home. We had to set boundaries. The courtroom went silent. Even her own teenagers looked uncomfortable. Marcus tried the, We left this family to handle it line. The judge cut him off. The money was never yours to budget for luxury. The ruling came faster than I expected. Temporary custody returned to me immediately, with a full review of the guardianship funds. The judge referred the financial misuse to the proper agency for repayment. Vanessa and Marcus would have to account for every dollar. As we left the courthouse, Ethan held my hand tightly and whispered, Mom, can we have real dinner tonight? I promised him the biggest spaghetti feast ever. That first night home, we ate at our own table. Pasta, garlic bread, salad, and ice cream just because. Ethan ate slowly at first, then with the joy of a boy who no longer had to ration. He doesn't hide food anymore. He laughs louder, sleeps through the night, and has started asking for seconds without looking scared. Physical therapy is going better now that I'm not carrying the weight of betrayal. Vanessa sends occasional messages trying to rewrite the story, how she was only trying to help, and I'm ungrateful. I don't answer. Some doors stay closed until the child is old enough to decide. The agency is pursuing repayment on a schedule that will remind them for years that a child's needs are not optional. If there's one thing this taught me, it's that blood doesn't automatically mean safety. Quiet records and a mother's love can cut through any lie. Check on the kids in your family who seem fine. Look at the lunch accounts, the quiet texts, the gaps between words. If this story reminded you that a determined parent can reclaim what's theirs without ever raising their voice, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Drop a comment with your own thoughts. Hit subscribe for more stories of ordinary courage, and I'll see you in the next one. Ethan and I are finally home, where we belong.